Hey, shalom, shalom. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to our apostles and the elders, a great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect out here pushing the truth and sincerity. The water for which y'all do, we love you. We appreciate you through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. And shalom to y'all. All right, this is your brother Double Dot from the Great Millstone Camp in Atlanta. Lord willing, to give you an edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Who the world ignorantly calls God, his name is Yahweh, meaning he is, or he exists, or he to be. Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai, meaning he is the Savior, or he is the deliverer. He saves, he delivers, which that indeed he will do. All right. Now, if you're watching this now, you're a so-called Black, Native American, or Latino man or woman, then you are a Hebrew Israelite according to the Holy Bible. You will not find Black, Latino, or Native American in the Bible. So you need to know who you are according to the Bible. All right. Because of certain people in the Bible was given the promises of the glory, the kingdom, and the covenants. All right. And salvation. Now, if you don't look like a so-called Black, Native American, or Latino, but you feel like this is the truth and it resonates with your spirit, well, then it's a possibility you could possibly be a Hebrew Israelite. It does not matter what you look like. It does not matter what color your skin is. It only matters that your bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob had his name later changed to Israel. Israel in the Hebrew is Yasharallah, meaning he is a prince of the power. I'm going to play this video for you real quick. This is going to be a really quick lesson. I have to get it back in there and get ready for work. Let's play this now and break it down through the scriptures.
The promotion of OnlyFans and adult work here is absolutely insane. A whole bunch of young women think that they can't get by without, in a way, selling your soul. And I am not one to talk because I was also a model here in Miami, but there is a point in time where you're like, okay, like, should I stop or do I have to continue selling my soul?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I've been listening for well over 2 minutes now, and I'm still trying to hear the part where she's saying that the United States of America is a scam, right? You can't blame Florida or Texas or people that have money for being in Florida, right? Because all right, so as a person that has lived in Florida or actually lived in Miami for an extended period of time, I actually stayed in Midtown, I stayed in Brickell, but I spent the majority of my time not on the beach because most of the people that actually live in Florida do not go to Miami Beach, right? The regular people that is in Little Haiti, even Coral Gables, right? Overtown, which is right next to Wynwood, they not doing it. They not hanging out in Brickell. They not there. They not downtown.
It took moving to Miami Beach.
All right. Now, we heard that what she said. Her part was the gist of it, right? What he said was somewhat true, right? Well, not somewhat true. It was true. She's complaining about not having a place to stay without selling coochie, certain women, right? And the economic woes that are taking place here in America. But the problem with that is, which he's basically saying, well, that's because you're in Brickell, that's because you're in Miami. You need to be in, Little Haiti. You need to be in, even places like Coral Great Gables where it's more affordable. You'll hear that all over the country, right? People will tell you, well, you live in New York City. You need to live in actually Kentucky. You really actually need to live in Alabama. The problem with that is that there's there's really not too much opportunity coming out of some of these places. Obviously, if you got certain skills, you can make it anywhere. However, it's not much opportunity or things to do. But that's not really, not really the issue here. The issue is that everywhere is taking a hit. So even if you live in Kentucky, even if you live in Alabama, you're getting paid pennies on the dollars to, support yourself and your family. And it's going to get worse, right? Because in the 50s and the 60s, it was much better. Whether you lived in New York, it didn't matter if you lived in Miami, right? Or Brickell or whatever it may be. It didn't matter. You can actually make money, have a hustle, become rich or be well off, whatever it is. The problem with that is that the curses are coming upon America, right? And hold on, these women, the oldest profession is prostitution. These women are gonna have to do what they're normally used to doing, right? But let's get is it Ecclesiastes? I believe no. Well, first of all, let's get Daniel chapter 12, number 1. Let's get that, and then we'll get Ecclesiastes. I believe it's Ecclesiastes. Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. It says, now the subtitle reads, the time of the end. That should say something to you already. That should already let you know what this scripture is coming out to be. That should already know what time we're coming into. That should already let you know what to be prepared for. That should already get you in a mind frame of moving closer to Yahweh Shem Yahushai and how to move in these times. It says, and at that time, what time? It's talking about the prophecy of Yahweh Shai coming back, and before that, which is Jacob's trouble. At that time, it's a prophecy. Jacob's trouble is a prophecy. It says, shall Michael stand up? All right, which is the archangel Michael Allah. All right, like the Most High. That's what that means. Michael Allah. All right, like the Most High. It says, and at that time shall Michael Allah stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. Now, why does it say the children of thy people? Well, because the Most High actually has a people. Thy people, speaking, that's talking about the 12 tribes of the Hebrew Israelites. All right, you so-called black, Native Americans, and Latinos, you make up the 12 tribes of the Hebrew Israelites. And those of you who don't look like so-called blacks, Native American, Latinos, right, but you feel like this is the truth and it resonates with your spirit, you could be a Hebrew Israelite as well. It doesn't matter if you look Japanese. It doesn't matter if you look Chinese. It doesn't matter if you look Arabic. You could possibly be a Hebrew Israelite and receive salvation. All right. It says, and there shall be a time of trouble. Now, what that young lady was, what she was emphasizing is that, and I remember maybe just 2 years ago, there was this, even before that, there was this crazy influx of OnlyFans models. It was coming everywhere. It was like every girl you would talk to, oh, I do OnlyFans. Yeah, I'm a model. I'm an Instagram model, which means I sell box. But that time is actually coming. Like that was an influx of those so-called Instagram models, which are OnlyFans models, which is prostitution, by the way. It's just digital prostitution. That's it. Right? It's prostitution on Wi-Fi. That's all it is. It's prostitution with an internet connection instead of a genital connection, right? But that time is coming to an even more so in today's time, right? It says, for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, right? Nobody's going to be able to, really make any money, and we can barely make money as it is now. They already pay you pennies on a dollar right now. They already pay you peanuts, and your landlord calling you all the time. T-Mobile's calling you all the time. AT&T, right? Verizon, they're always calling you. Why? Because they want their money. Because why? Because you can't afford your phone bill. You can't afford your car note. You can't afford your insurance. You can't afford medical insurance. You can't afford your rent. You can't afford your utilities, like electricity, your water, your heat, your air. You can't afford these things. Your gasoline. Look at fuel right now. Fuel is up like damn $2 per gallon, right? Up $2. Not at $2. That would be extremely affordable. No, it's up $2. So if it was $3.50 in your neighborhood, now it's goddamn $5.50. If it was $2.50 in your neighborhood, now it's goddamn $4.50. $3.50. It's ridiculous, man. You see? That's a time of trouble, but that is not good enough, right? Even that's not good enough to scare you people. It's coming. Don't worry. Always coming. Don't worry. It says, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time. Right, because gas has already risen to $5 before. But when it rises to $10, $15 per gallon, then we're going to know you're going to be cooked. right? And we're waiting for that time. That's when these women going to go from internet to the streets, and they're going to be strolling because they really going to be selling that box for real. You feel me? They really going to be selling that box for real. The women that was telling you that you would never even have an opportunity or a chance with them are going to be saying, hey, I'll give it to you for $5. The women that told you you weren't tall enough, oh, this is a real man right here because he's 6'5". She going to be begging you to give her something to eat or $5 to take that box. Right? It says such as never was since there was a nation even to the same time. And at that time that people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. Right? Because shortly after that, we know what comes, salvation. Ecclesiastes, is it 12? Yeah, right. All right, we're gonna end it on this. All right. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. These women are gonna be, man. It says, remember God in your youth, for the subtitle. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So when you hear this thing, when you hear this truth, when you hear that the name of the Heavenly Father, which you call God ignorantly, when you hear that his name is Yahweh, and you hear Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, that means in the name of Yahweh Shai. That's who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. When you hear those names, listen immediately. That's the days of your youth. Don't wait until later. The days of your youth is when you first hear this word. Listen to this, man. If this video reaches you, listen to this, man. This is the truth. The apocalypse and the things that you hear about, that was spread by the Hebrew Israelites. We spread it that. And now you actually see it happening now. And you got but a small window of opportunity to come into this truth and come to your Father, man, if you're a so-called Black, Native American, or Latino. Now, if you're not a so-called Black, Native American, Latino, but you feel like this is the truth and it resonates with your spirit, possibly you could be a Hebrew Israelite. Come to this truth and come to the camps. Go to a GMS camp, a Great Millstone, whatever. Go on YouTube and look up Great Millstone, New York, Great Millstone, Atlanta, Great Millstone, Alabama, Great Millstone, New Mexico, Great Millstone, El Paso, Great Millstone, Los Angeles. Anywhere you're at, look up Great Millstone, your city or your state, and you'll find a Great Millstone camp. Find out where they're at. Go into the comment board. Ask them where they teach at. Ask them what time, what day, and then show up and study, learn, listen, ask questions, and also be quiet when you get your questions answered. Just be quiet and then study, and then eventually you'll cross over to the other side. That's how you become a part of this truth, right? And start your videos. Just like I'm doing right now. Type in Great Millstone, right? Our apostle leader, Apostle Tahar. His YouTube channel is What is the 666 Mark? And then watch his videos, learn, look up more videos about the GMS apostles or the GMS elders or just GMS in general, and you'll find all the answers to the questions that you have. Get edified and then turn the camera on and record. Upload it to YouTube. Make a brand new page. All right? It says, nor the years draw nigh. So while it's tarrying, right? Which, by the way, it's not tarrying. It's actually coming to fruition. All the prophecies are coming to fruition. Go ahead and get affiliated, man. It says, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Right, exactly. So while things are not happening, study, read, fellowship with brothers, come to the camps, do your videos. It says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. Yeah, right. So while it's still the sun, you can still see it, right? While the missiles are not in the air blocking the sun, while darkness and gloominess is not blocking the sun, come into the Lord, man. Isaiah 55:6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Right? It says, in the day, verse 3, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble and the strong men shall bow themselves and the grinders cease. That's what that young lady was talking about. every woman is an OnlyFans model. Why? Because that's what they resort to, man. You hear these women talking about being a boss, babe, and being a type of woman that could do what she needs to do to get it done. Man, them women they capping, bro. Them women are capping, man. Every single woman in the world, man, when they can't resort to being under a man, what they do? They go to sex, right? Salaki, when they can't resort to doing anything by themselves, what do? They resort to being under a man. They sex, man. Sex sells, man. Because that's their true nature. They're weak. All right? So when there's no work out here, when the government shutdown continues and there's no work out here, right? When there's no real work out here, these women are going to become prostitutes, man. Come on now. Come on now, man. Stop listening to these women saying that they strong, independent women. Stop listening to them. They're lying to you, man. Wait until all hell breaks loose. They're going to be begging you, asking you, getting on their knees so that you can keep them safe. Right? Watch, man. There's going to be multiple women, man. Right? Isaiah 4:1, man. Hold on. It says, verse 3, it says, when the grinders cease. Why? Because that means no work. Because there are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. Right? It says, in the doors, right? That means the city's no longer alive, man. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. And when the sound of the grinding is low, and we know what? I'm grinding. Do-do-do-do. I'm grinding. Do-do. That means you hustling, bro. You're not going to be able to grind no more. Because there's not going to be no money out there to make. It said when the sound of the grinding is low, the hustle and bustling of work, the hustle and bustling of the commute is going to be done for. It says, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Yeah, you rise up at the voice of before the early morning. You're going to be rising up before early morning, and yet there ain't going to be no work to go get, man. You feel me? The daughters of music are already brought low. We see all these entertainers are dying. All the entertainers, damn near, Chuck Norris just passed away. Right? America's, entertainment, you got legends dying, like Chuck Norris, man. It's not the time to be alive no more, man. It's not all the time to be alive. These rappers are all being put to death. All the actors, why? Because they sold. It's their time. They lived their life. It's time for them to go. You see? So now you're not really left with any culture anymore. You feel me? Now it's just all trying to hustle and grind and get a dollar, man. But these women are gonna go back to that nature, man. Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1. It says, and at that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away thy reproach. What does that mean? That means I'm not a boss babe no more. I'm not an independent, Miss Independent. I'm not that no more. No. I need to be under your rulership, under your submission, under your protection. Because you're a man of the Lord. These women are all going to become that. Right? And we're going to have our pickings. We're going to get the best of the best. Because why? That's a woman's nature. With that, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakadosh, the honest apostles and elders of great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect, and shalom.